Hey guys, welcome back to Refining with Jessie, the life coach. So wouldn't it be great if people came with tags and labels to show if they were unhealthy, toxic, and just not good for you? But unfortunately, people do not come like that. However, there are ways to spot individuals who are toxic and taxing on your energy. And today I'm going to be sharing with you some top points that you can actually look for to be able to discern and see if people are good for you before you start investing in them, letting them into your world, letting them into your space and letting them into your energy. So people who are impossible to please are going to be extremely negative and taxing on your energy, because no matter what you do, no matter what circumstance they're in, they're going to find something negative and something to complain about. So once you start getting around someone and start realizing that this is their behavior, their pattern, it might be wise to start trying to pull back. The person that the conversation is all about them. If you are starting to engage with someone or starting to be around someone and realizing that everything is about them, let's say you come to them with a specific scenario or a specific problem, or you're just, probably venting about your day, venting about a scenario, situation that has happened to you, and you realize they can't wait to cut you off. They can't wait to tell you about their day. They can't wait to, top your situation and tell you about their situation that was way worse. You're dealing with someone who is selfish. So this is the first kind of indicator you're going to see around these type of individuals. It might even be someone who's narcissistic. Narcissistic people love attention to be on them. And you never win with narcissistic people. They are energy vampires. They will drain your energy. So if you start noticing this in someone you're around, or noticing them doing it to others, is something to take heed and be aware of and say, okay, wait a minute, maybe that person's not the best person to be around. To be the person who lies and withholds information. So you don't necessarily need to be super close to a person who does this. You could be around someone and just evaluate the way they deal with others. So if you notice that sometimes they're holding back information from others or not being completely honest, and there's no reason for it, like it's not justifiable, because there are times that we lie to spare other people's feelings, right? That could be something that's justifiable. But when you're lying just to lie, it's like, why are you doing that? And you need to start, being discerning about that and evaluating the way others are either treating you or treating, people around them. And that's something to really take heed of. You should know by the time you get to a certain threshold, a certain space and time in life, you hit a certain age, lying does not benefit you. And if the person around you is an adult and they're still lying, that's not going to be a good scenario for you. You don't want to be around a person that you cannot trust and a person that probably doesn't trust you, right? Who wants to invest in a liar? No one wants to do that. So that's something to be really aware of. A lot of people get around other people who are consistently lying, and there might be little lies here and there, but those are red flags. They're showing you who this person is. So people who don't respect your opinion, this is a big one. So you could be around someone who you're having a regular conversation. It might be something super small and they blow up. It always escalates. The situation always escalates, and it might not only be with you. It might be that this person is doing it with others, like a coworker. Let's say you're at work and it's a coworker, and you're noticing that every time they have a conversation with someone else, they're disrespectful. They're not listening to the other person. They're speaking over them. They're very stubborn and set in their ways, and they pretty much have the it's my way or the highway kind of mindset. They might go out of their way to disprove people, take it to facts and to statistics, and go all out of their way to one up another individual. That person is going to be toxic for you. So beware of that. People who disguise insults within jokes, those are toxic individuals. They're very passive aggressive, and passive aggressive doesn't serve anyone. These are the individuals that have something to say, but instead of coming out to communicate as an adult, they do it on the sly. So you don't want to deal with people like that. Who wants to deal with someone who's consistently insulting them and not being an adult and not communicating in a proper, effective way? Backhanded compliments. I have had a lot of experience with this. A backhanded compliment is when someone gives you a compliment, but then as well, they throw a dig in there, right? So those will sound a little something like this. Wow, those shoes are nice. It's been a long time I've seen shoes like that. I think the last time I seen them was actually in a strip club. Wow, those jeans are nice, but don't you think you need to lose weight first? Compliment is when you give someone positive reinforcement and don't end it with a negative connotation. People who gossip and share other people's information. So you don't want to be in a scenario where you're sharing your information with someone and they're sharing your private information or scenarios with other individuals that don't even know you. So be aware of that. The way to find out if that person is this way is to observe their conversations. If their conversations are always about other individuals that you do not know, that you have never met or met them personally, or you don't know them on a personal level, but you know all their information, such as their income, situations that are happening within their relationship, their marriage, their dynamics, things that are happening with their kids, all personal information. And if that person is revealing that to you, they won't be short to do it to you as well. And you have to be careful with individuals of the such. The people who criticize out of nowhere. You ever been around someone that you're walking with and they're criticizing everybody in the street? Oh my God, look at her. She needs to lose weight. Oh my God, look at that woman. She's so skinny. She's like skin and bones. Did you see that girl's hair? Did you see that girl's shoes? Did you see that man's teeth? That is all criticism, and that stems from insecurities, and nobody wants to be around a person who's consistently negative and trying to put down others. People who try to make you feel bad when you say no or cannot do something. So you want to be mindful of that. Those people who guilt trip others. You say no to something, someone should respect that. How do people respect your boundaries, and do they respect your boundaries? Are they mindful of what you are telling them and considering your feelings and what you're going through at the moment? People who don't take accountability or apologize. Now, this you can observe by a person that you're not even close to. You could just see how they relate to others. When they do something that's inappropriate or they are clearly wrong, do they own up to it? Do they say, I did this, that, and the third, and I truly apologize? But not only do they apologize, but is their apology sincere? And do they realize, the situation? Are they realizing what they are doing so they could change that behavior? Majority of the time, people will apologize, but they don't change their behavior. And what does an apology serve if the behavior is not being corrected? So there's two parts of it. When someone apologizes, they also have to be aware of what they did, how it made the other person feel, or how it impacted that other person, so they can make proper corrections. But if you're noticing a person that you're around is not like that, then you might want to reconsider whether you want to be around them. People who overstep boundaries. When someone does something and you tell them you do not like their behavior or how it impacted you or how you felt, and they'll start displaying defensive behavior, staying away from you, silent treatments, things of that sort, you already know who you're dealing with. This is a person that you're not going to be able to have grounding with. It's a person that's not going to be able to compromise with you. It's a person that might be arrogant. They only see their way, their side. They're not looking for, equal footing. People who are always the victim. If you notice that when people tell stories, it's always somebody else's fault. Something happened to them because someone put them in that scenario, that circumstance, and they never accept accountability. You're dealing with a person who's in a victim mentality state. And that is not something easy to deal with. So you might want to reevaluate how often you are around this person. People who drama follow them. So if you notice that you're around a person whose life is chaotic and they're always involved in dramatic situations, always fighting with people, always going back and forth, they're constantly cutting people off, or they're always involved in just scenarios that are not healthy, then you might want to start really evaluating that person. Majority of the time, people who are always involved in dramatic situations is because they are the ones creating the drama. And sometimes they don't realize that. So you have to be able to realize that and be able to say, wait a minute, is this the type of person I want in my life? Because their drama might spill over to you, creating drama in your life. The person who is always trying to one-up the other person. So you might find this a lot in your work atmosphere. Someone who's always trying to overspeak or be heard over another person. Someone who's very controlling and trying to be in competition. That's what it's all about. You don't want to be around someone who's consistently trying to compete with you, especially a friend. Everybody is powerful and strong in their own right. And you don't need someone who's constantly trying to one-up you, someone who's always trying to do better than you, someone who's always trying to make you look small. That's not a healthy individual, and it's not gonna be a healthy dynamic for you. So guys, those are my top ways to be able to discern what a person is going to be healthy for you or not. If you start noticing a lot of these patterns, scenarios or they're playing out within your atmosphere and you're noticing it about this person, you might want to consider whether you want to invest in these situations, because these people are toxic, and their toxic patterns and behaviors and how they interact with people are going to spill into your life and start causing issues when you start getting entangled with them. So be very mindful of those red flags and spotting toxic behavior. Majority of the times when we deal with other individuals, we'll see a lot of red flags and little things, but we do not pay attention to it. We do not take heed to it. We just pretty much dismiss it and walk past it and think it's not a big deal, but it is a big deal, because these little things will mount to more in the future. The point of red flags is so you have an indication of who you are dealing with before you truly get invested in them. So don't pass by them. Don't take them very lightly. Just be aware, just be observant. Start, evaluating people that you are getting entangled with. And always keep in mind, when we say toxic people, these people are not horrible people. There's just something about them that's unhealed within them and how they relate to others. That is all I have for you today, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.